Endless online searches, trekking from dealer to dealer. But here it is, the Volvo XC90. A luxury SUV that emphasises convenience and comfort. A panoramic roof, advanced air purifier, a head-up display that changes to suit light conditions, an air suspension system that ensures a smooth ride by constantly adjusting the ride height and shock absorbers. Now at special run-out pricing from $99,990 plus on-roads. Visit Volvo Cars and discover why the Volvo XC90 is the vehicle for right now.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Champions Trophy action again tomorrow night. 10 o'clock New Zealand time, they play Bangladesh in Rawalpindi. This after their win in their first pool match against Pakistan.
That's it. It's all over. Henry does the job and New Zealand win this match convincingly by 60 runs. It's been a polished performance.
Certainly was. Good first up win for the Black Caps over Pakistan at the Champions Trophy. Captain Mitch Santner joins us on Weekend Sport. Mitch, congrats on the first up win. What pleased you the most against your victory over Pakistan in your first pool game?
Yeah, I think we obviously talk about what the bat is trying to build partnerships and yeah, I think the way Youngie and Tommy went about it, two guys who, played extremely well, and then you can kind of set up that kind of the back end of your innings to get, and then let GP do his thing, and we got 320, which was probably over par on that wicket, and then I think the first 10 overs with the ball was probably the best I've seen for a while of guys just being able to smash a length for a long time and put them under pressure.
Were you at all concerned at 73 for 3?
I think I think the key in one-day cricket is to try chip wickets out through the middle, and Pakistan were able to do that in the top as well. And but I think it shows, especially in these wickets, if you can kind of soak it up for a little bit of time, it does get easier. That we always talk about with the ball on the flip side is, if we can get poles, it's trying to make it as hard as it can for the new guy coming in and really squeezing them. So I think the way Youngie and Tommy were able to withstand that, that pressure and then put it back on to Pakistan and then set us up for a big finish was outstanding.
I guess you might find yourself with a bit of a selection conundrum, a nice one, I might say, if Rachin Ravindra is fit to come back into selection contention, with Will Young obviously scoring 100. Devon Conway's got runs recently. How do you go about, working through selection issues like those?
Yeah, it's definitely a headache, but a good one. I mean, it's, guys are obviously, both boys are in form. I think we'll wait and see how Rachin, I guess, gets through this training tonight. He seems to be doing a lot better, but I guess a high intensity kind of net session to see how he's trucking, and then again look at the pitch. It might be a similar makeup to Karachi, but we'll wait and see. It could be a slightly different wicket, and so I guess we've got a few options to think about. But I think it's always a good thing. But I mean, there is going to be a hard conversation to have with someone, and it's never an easy decision or easy job to have. But it means, I guess, the guys are stepping up when they get the opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
Indeed. Rawalpindi, that's where the Bangladesh game is. Have you got any clue as to how that wicket might play? Have you got any intel? I don't even know. Have you ever even played there?
I've never played there, but it's usually very flat. It kind of doesn't tend to have much grass, but kind of holds together pretty well. So traditionally, it's generally quite high scoring and doesn't offer a lot. So I guess if that's the case, we'll wait and see. But I think we want to kind of we'll probably have a look the day before and see what it looks like. But I think it kind of brings it back to what we want to focus on and what the things that we've been doing well. We know Bangladesh are a very good side on their day, and will probably come quite hard, knowing that it is going to be quite flat. So I think if we can kind of stick to those hard lengths that we've been operating so well on, will put us in a good spot.
So in the Pakistan game, 29 of your 47.2 overs were bowled by spinners. Is that a trend we're likely to see continue, do you think?
I think we found in Karachi it was probably slightly slower than we thought it would be, that pitch. It looked like it had a little bit more grass than the ones we played on previously, but it actually spun, which was nice. I think it's I think having options, like we've still got 3 seamers there. If it was a bit, just getting on a bit more, it might have been more overs for Nathan Smith. But I guess it's nice having Glenn and Jeep and Bracewell there if they do have left-handers where we can spin it. And then I guess if Ruchin's fit and bowling well, that's an option there as well for us if they do have 2 more right-handers. But I think it shows the squad we've got. We've got options for if it is flat, if it is spinning, and I think Piney is going to be different again to Dubai, which again looked like it was slightly slower as well.
And Kyle Jamison's joined you in place of Lockie Ferguson, which was unfortunate to see him ruled out through injury. Has Kyle had enough time in camp to be considered for selection?
Yeah, I think he met us. He met us here, and I guess coming off a Ford Trophy where he bowled, bowled some overs. I think he's obviously on a strict kind of loading plan, but I think he'll be ready for selection for that first game. Obviously, get through. We've got a training later on tonight to see if he gets through a few overs tonight. And then I guess we'll wait and see what the pitch looks like and whether it is, I guess, a 3-seam wicket again, or I can't imagine it's going to be more than 3, but it could be less.
Spoken like a true spinner. I love it. I love it. Just on your captaincy, Mitch, you're still relatively early in your captaincy career, particularly around the 50-over team. You've obviously done it quite often in the T20 stuff. What have been the main qualities you've looked to bring to the leadership of this ODI team?
Yeah, I guess that's for other people to say. But I think for me, it's just trying to make it like quite a relaxed environment, try quite be relaxed in the middle, give the guys the clear headspace that they need to go out there and perform, especially the bowlers. I'm not going to tell them to do anything, they don't want to do. It's about being clear, planned, and it's just about an execution game. And if you miss, that's human nature, that's going to happen. But as long as we're, you're not clouded with different thoughts, and trying to make it an enjoyable space for people to go show their skills.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a different challenge, but I am. It's it's definitely a different way to go about it. But I think it's again you can kind of remove yourself at times. But I think for me, it's still trying to be connected to the group as much as I can and everyone in it. I think communication is still a massive part of this role. It's making everyone feel like they're part of it going forward, and even if it is guys on the outer side, it's still staying connected and still making people feel they're part of the plan or the purpose going forward.
How helpful was it to the team to have some warm-up games, the Tri-Series and then the extra game ahead of the start of the Champions Trophy?
Yeah, I think I guess you want to test yourself in the conditions that you're likely to play under, and I think we've been lucky enough to play Pakistan a lot over the last few years. But I guess playing in Karachi, where we're going to play that first game, was more of an understanding of how to operate on those wickets. We talked about the seamers bowling a little bit shorter than you probably do back home, just with the lack of bounce, and it's and then obviously there is a little bit more spin, and I guess the guys will adjust, could be a factor. So I think getting the games in. I guess leading in, there's probably more, confidence for the boys as well, that knowing that we can beat Pakistan in these conditions, and then we went out there with that kind of freedom to do that again.
And do you think Glenn Phillips could have caught that catch with 2 hands?
Probably didn't have to jump high off the ground as he did, but he does. We call it adding mayo, so he loves adding mayo to a few of his catches and stuff. But I think what we've found, I guess, those, especially on these kind of flatter wickets where, you do get those half chances, can really turn games. And I think Glenn is one of the best at that. If there is a half chance, he's always there, and he's always wanted to die for it.
Indeed. May there be a lot more mayo from Glenn Phillips and from the rest of the team as well. Mitch, great to chat, mate. Congrats on the first up win. All the best against Bangladesh Monday night. We'll be watching from back home.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Mitch. Mitch Santner there, captain of our white ball cricket teams. So Champions Trophy, game 2 of 3 in pool play for New Zealand. Bangladesh tomorrow night, 10 o'clock New Zealand time. The other 2 teams in our group, Pakistan and India, play tonight Unfortunately, that game's in Dubai. Would have been nice to be in Pakistan, but I think we all know the reasons behind that. Anyway, what I guess we want to happen in that game is for India to beat Pakistan. That would give Pakistan 2 losses and would mean that if New Zealand beat Bangladesh, they would be confirmed in the semi-finals. Even if Pakistan were to beat India and New Zealand beat Bangladesh, we'd still be in a pretty good position. But I guess all things being equal, you want India to beat Pakistan, you want us to beat Bangladesh, and then us and India are into the semis before we play one another. And that game is next Sunday night, the 2nd of March, next Sunday night, by which stage it potentially could be irrelevant in terms of the result, apart from, of course, getting a bit of momentum heading into the semi-finals.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.
For a few years in the 1970s, the Mr. Asia Syndicate made millions.
Heroin creates its own market. It acts like a form of plague.
Until jealousy, betrayal, and murder brought it all crashing down.
Then he just pulled out a gun, shot her in the back of the head, and then said to Wayne, "You're going to help me bury her."
This is Mr. Asia, A Forgotten History. First 3 episodes available now on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.